Right, everyone, welcome back. 2026, Australia, FP1. Who did think we'd be here? We are here. I'm going to change the overlays and everything. We'll work out. I'm going to die. We're going to work out what the best overlays are. But yeah, this is the most excited I've been for pre-season and the first race for a while. I wasn't that excited last year. Probably because it seemed like the McLarens were going to be on top, finished the season so strong. Then the season became quite exciting for a little bit. And then, let's be honest, last season I don't think it's going to go down as a GOAT season. Welcome Obi-Wan, Nathan, Michael Owusu in the house, and AK the Dude as well. Yeah, we're back. We're back in business, as they say. I'm not sure my like thing is working because I can see that we've got some likes and it's not showing. We've got to fix that. I'm going to get in there and fix it. Like widget. Custom widget. I've replaced some kit from last year as well. You might see I've got some new headphones. Yeah. Welcome Black as well. Anyone who's in this stream is a champion because it's awkward time for everyone unless you're in Australia, right? Welcome Hasbeezy to first race. Welcome Eric von Eric. Yeah, so there was a question there from Michael Owusu. Stoked this watch long is happening. Is it a regular occurrence just when you can? No, we're going to try and do every race, I think, until August. Maybe every session. Given I have been energized by being nominated for the Autosport Creator of the Year, which is crazy. Went to see Lando and all this kind of stuff. Probably I should get some stuff on screen for that stream. Be quite cool. I could just play loops of footage that I recorded with my own phone, which is quite interesting. Been doing quite a bit of motorsport content on the Motorsport channel, which is now called Kireth Formula Fan TV, which I should definitely collaborate this stream on. Why don't I collaborate this stream on there? Yeah, new Xbox announced. I'm not sure you can say it's announced. It's a bit wet, isn't it? Isn't it Project Helium or something? It's like, okay, cool. I was disappointed about the Forza Horizon gameplay, where it just seemed like the guy who recorded it could not drive, which is a weird way to promote a driving game, but there we go. Each to their own, I suppose. Can I collaborate? Can I collaborate myself? Collaborate? I don't know. I have no idea. And today was really exciting because we did a world first today in Discord. We streamed Moto America with actually the actual footage. So Moto America is like America's superbikes, and yeah, we actually had it in Discord with the footage. So imagine this with the footage. We did it. That's a world first, and we're going to do the same thing again tomorrow. Choice dumb question. Why is Antonelli there with the rest not? This is just legacy data. Antonelli's he's not still stuck in Bahrain. We'll update the data when new data becomes available. I guess no one really knows how it's going to work this season. Black car 1:30 here. I was about to fall asleep when the alarm went on. Oh, you put the alarm for it. Well, I don't think... I'll be surprised if I do FP2. I'm not committing to do FP2. I just said... I've just rode back, haven't I? Because I'm going to do every free practice. But FP2 is at like 5 AM UK time. And I don't want to fully commit to it. Because I don't want to let people down. But... if I do FP2 at 5... this will be a really exciting session. That's the reason why I do it. Also, new helmet here. My new karting helmet. Which, the more F1 I do, the less karting I do. But, maybe. Get to take this bad boy out. We've got Lewis Hamilton. And I've got here, still, the wheel which I don't use because I can't find the cable. I can't find the cable for it. But obviously this wheel's sick. The Mercedes F1 wheel. Welcome Paranef from Newfoundland Canada. Are you the second person from Canada? The Canadians. 9 p.m. there. But let's kick us off. Latka will know this. Let's kick us off with a nations check. Let's see if it still works. Let's dust off these cobwebs. Okay. So exclamation mark nations. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. So we're streaming from London. I think Canada might win this, but let us know. And also the Canadians, I expect you to be here when it's Montreal, so you can give us the inside weather information. Unless you're on the west coast, in which case I'm probably closer to Montreal. Here we go, look at this. So Vlatka, Croatia, make duo from Canada, aka Canada, Forza US. Forza, what do you think of the Forza reveal? MB Auto Detail US, Michael Owusu, or I'm going to get this wrong, Australia. But let me know if it was New Zealand. Tech Car Gamer from Canada, Forza USA, Skyhoo Hong Kong, Apple TV. Yeah, so this won't apply to anyone, I guess, outside of America. But if you're in America, I suspect there's been a lot of Apple advertising because Apple have live broadcasting. Alan Lyons from Arizona, Hasbiza from Lebanon. It's 2:35 a.m. right now. I woke up to watch this and eat suhoor. I don't know what suhoor is. Is that something to do with the fasting? Is that what you eat? Is that what you eat before you start fasting again? I got it right with Australia. Okay, very nice. So, I thought we'd go live a little bit early, talk pre-show. Again, I did a preview on Formula Fan TV. But we got all the drivers here. Leclerc, Norris, Verstappen, Russell, Gasly, Behrman, Bortoletto. Why is Bortoletto so red? Because it's Audi now. Antonelli, Lindblad, Sainz, Piastri, Ocon, Hadjar, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Perez, Stroll, Alfonso, Albon, Lawson, Colapinto, Hamilton. The red of the Audi is going to put me off. That's weird. When's the last time there's been another red team apart from Williams in like 01? Seeing another red team like Ferrari can't be happy. The red is more red than Ferrari. Last Frontier. It's like pre-fast food. Yeah, I don't know what I'm just going. I've got a can of water. Literally water in a can, which I'm not sure I like because I like having water and stuff that I can close it up again. But there we go. So yeah, so to cut to the chase, I'm thinking could be really bad for Audi. Well, firstly, it's going to be terrible for Aston Martin. Aston Martin, there's a safety hazard. The drivers can't drive the cars without getting nerve damage. Now, as it happens, I actually went to an event a couple of weeks ago in Munich where I was doing some sim racing in like a live show, and I got a flat spot on my tyre. And the way the sim was set up was for esports driver, so I had this vibration like unbelievable. And I was thinking, like, hang on a second, like, is this really worth it? We'll have some content on that because the vibration was insane. But it was like, think about how fast the motor can vibrate. It was doing it, and even doing that now, I feel like I'm kind of tensing. Because when you're gripping a wheel, I don't know if your tendons or ligaments or something are kind of strained because you're gripping it. And I feel like I totally get it that when you have vibrations and you're strained like that, if you have vibrations and you're relaxed, but really fine vibrations, and I certainly felt like, I'm not sure this is really worth it. But I finished the race. Can you pronounce my hometown? OPSECURITY, Cree Nation, Manitoba, Canada. Know it very well. No, I don't. So let us know, where is that in Canada? Whereabouts is that in Canada? Cree Nation sounds like it might be sort of native, I don't know what you call it, native Canadians? Yeah, so Aston Martin in big trouble. In big trouble. They're going to have to desperately try and make that car drivable. But it seems like the season's a write-off. It's almost like no one wants to talk about this because it's an inconvenient truth. But this season could be a complete write-off for Aston Martin and can be embarrassing. And the chain reaction of that could be that Lawrence Stroll pulls out of Aston Martin F1, pulls out of Aston Martin, the UK car company, and this has much bigger shockwaves. But no one's talking about it that much. Then they assume it's going to get fixed, but I wouldn't count on it. I also think Audi could have a terrible season because that engine's from scratch. Who else? Ferrari. People kind of at the moment, as we speak right now, people are saying that watch out, Ferrari could be Ferrari season. We'll find out very quickly, I think. Yes, got it first try. It's about 9 hours north of US-Canada border, and yes, we are First Nations. That's a long way north. You close to the magnetic North Pole, potentially. Who else? Who are we going to talk about? Alpine. I think things could go really bad for Alpine. I don't know why Colapinto's necessarily still in the car. I think the odds on Colapinto lasting the season are very small. I'm not really a betting person, but if I was, I'd bet against Colapinto. Also, I think Hadjar is going to have a really difficult time in that Red Bull. So I feel a bit for Hadjar. I think Lindblad is going to have a really tough time. I think Lindblad could also not last that long. Thoughts on Red Bull? I think I wouldn't count. Both these things are true in my mind. I would not count out Verstappen, but I think it's going to be tough for Hadjar. Reason being, they're actually both opposite sides of the same coin. I think Red Bull will have doubled down on designing this car for Max, because if it's a chaotic season, maybe Max can get over the line and win the drivers. And for Red Bull, I don't think they care about constructors. For all their marketing and everything, they want to win drivers. That will mean that Hadjar has even less input into the car, I would say. What about Ferrari? Akib Miraz says, I think, well, we'll have to see. As it stands right now, like I said, Ferrari could be... It's funny, there's Piastri's wearing a green McLaren hat, and the McLaren logo has become so recognisable, it almost feels like the Nike tick. It's funny how these brands, these Formula One brands, are absolutely massive. Even the Oracle in Red Bull Racing, you don't really think about the Oracle, but it just kind of fits on the logo subconsciously. Yeah, so let's see what happens with Ferrari. Yeah, -30, that is cold. Quarter of the way to the pole, maybe more. The second seat curse, yeah. Well, as long as I got Max in there, this is what I've discussed. Like, would it be stupid to do anything else? Would it be stupid to do anything other than design the car for Max? Arguably the greatest driver of all time. Seattle Tyler says Hadjar will adapt better than Yuki or Perez did. Youth on this side. Let's see. Let's see. Remember, Hadjar did not have a good start here last season. Welcome, Jan. Good to see you. Well, I think Ferrari did the same with Schumacher. Walloon. Michael says Lindblad is one to watch. I feel there's some serious talent there. We'll see. I just think it's the most difficult generation of car to come into, because it'll be very difficult for him to have prepared for this, because any testing he's done in previous generations is not going to apply here. But then again, it's new for everyone, so cuts both ways. Have you ever driven a Formula car? I have. Well, I haven't driven a F1, obviously, F2, F3, F4, but I've driven single-seater Formula cars. Welcome, Aniga from Cougar at Nunavut, Canada. Hang on, I want to know, how close is Cougar Nunavut, Canada to... I just need to refresh myself. Opaskwayak Cree Nation, Manitoba, Canada. Are you basically neighbours? Yeah, keep an eye out for Max here. I'm really excited for this FP1. I just can't wait to see if there's going to be a massive spread in the times. It's funny, because we've had so much speculation in free practice, this FP feels like it's kind of almost qualifying in a way. Like, this is when it starts to get real. Even though in a normal race weekend we'd be like, oh, it's FP1. But because we're desperate to see cars on track, and like, it's the start of the weekend now. You are neighbours. Very nice. Jan from France, very nice. I was in France last year for Le Mans, for GP Explorer. Aninga lives up north in the Arctic. Very nice. Although the UK is quite north when you look on a map. When you look at the latitudes. Hasbiza, I'm the only one in my family likes F1. Sad, no, and I'm a girl. You'll find people in this community and the F1 community. Maybe you'll get your family into Formula One. Manitoba is way too south, too hot temperature. Yeah, Manitoba is basically like on the equator. Manitoba's like the Sahara. Oh, yeah, you got Manitobans have it so easy. Minus 30 degrees centigrade. I'd love it to be only minus 30. Here it's minus 42. Minus 30 is properly cold though. Like, you got a lot of antifreeze in the cars and whatnot. DTS TomTom, what time's it start in UK time? 1:30 AM UK time, I think. Seattle, I wonder if Apple TV have upgraded the cameras this season being inaugural. I noticed with because Apple produced a movie, those cameras came in. So yeah, good point. Welcome Freddie as well. Been working with Freddie today on the Moto America stuff out of Daytona, which has been really fun, as we were saying. In fact, if you enjoy this, definitely join our Discord and get involved in the Moto America stuff. Jan's really excited. Okay, I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think? Let's do this structurally. Who do you think is gonna? Well, let's just start with a big one. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna be the driver that wins? I won't say my one yet because I'll let people come in. Do I get royalties from being in the Gran Turismo? I don't get royalties, no. Foolishly. Who negotiated my contract? No royalties from my standout debut. When the temperature drops to minus 50. Minus 50 sounds like actually apocalyptic. Yeah. Black has got the link in there, simracediscord.com. DTS has preferred this year's regulations. What do you think about it getting too close to Formula E? Like Max said, thanks for subscribing, Jan. So Lewis Hamilton, yeah, have you noticed Lewis Hamilton's helmet here? I'm gonna go. I'm talking season. Season. Damon Trital saying Russell. Jan saying Hamilton for Melbourne. Oh, Has you saying Hamilton for? Okay. Freddie saying Max. Michael saying Charles Leclerc. Michael saying anyone but Russell. AK saying George Russell. Am I crazy to say Max? Is it a case that if all the other drivers take points off each other, you'd ultimately just bet on Max? And I feel like it could be a fantastic rivalry between Max and Russell. And already here, someone said anyone but Russell, right? So would Max become like the people's favourite if he goes up against George Russell? I mean, Lewis Drivers' Championship would be insane. We've got Lewis Hamilton's helmet here. So maybe this is a sign. I think it happened last season. Like we just kept wearing the shirts of like the teams that won. Cornwell says Checo pole, Bottas photo finish, everyone else DNF. Well, Bottas was he thought Lance Stroll was going to win when he was asked. MB Auto, new cars, man, who will win? What, I guess too much sandbagging. Yeah, Bottas's penalty has been waived, by the way, as I understand. He had that 5-place grid penalty for his previous race at Mercedes, but it's been waived, as I understand it. Yeah, Cadillac no stranger to racing. GM no stranger. They're a staple in WEC and IMSA, so you know it's not the same new team as when back in the day, like a junior Formula team would try and step up to Formula 1 or something. This is a bit different. Aninga says Max were given too many penalties in my opinion. DTS Lewis is my forever favourite. This is Max this year. Haz says I'm scared of Max this season but hoping for Lewis. I like the Lewis optimism. I mean, with Ferrari, and what I was saying is that because they got that small turbo, so they don't need the turbo, it doesn't take as long to spool up. That basically means that Ferrari might have a little bit of a qualifying advantage this year, and Lewis hasn't been as strong in qualifying as Charles, if my maths is correct, my stats are correct. So it could be a little edge for Lewis, because I've always rated Lewis in the race. Yeah, why? It's a great question from Vlatka. Why is no one mentioning Lando? Why is no one mentioning Lando? He's the world champion. He should be the favourite. Is it because it's not trendy to mention Lando? Is it because subconsciously we don't rate Lando? Why are we not talking about Lando? It's insane. Absolutely insane. The DPR, yeah, I remember when I went 2023 to Spa and like hearing that Cadillac do the cold start out of the pit lane was just incredible. Probably the Cadillac hypercar is probably, honestly, the best sounding car I've ever heard. Maybe leave out the old, you know, V8, V10 Formula 1 cars. I think the Cadillac is live by the side of a circuit. It's probably the best sounding car that I've ever heard. Because you have cars that sound noisy like Porsche Cup cars, and the old I like the F1 cars when they had like double diffusers, like 2012, 2013, like the double diffusers. I absolutely loved all of that. Even though everyone hated it, but I loved it. But I don't think I've heard a better car trackside than the Cadillac hypercar. I would actually genuinely say the Cadillac hypercar is a reason in itself to go and see IMSA or WEC. So I genuinely mean that. Like, if you go, you will notice it. I mean, all the hypercars sound pretty good, but the Cadillac just sounds unbelievable. Sounds like a Star Destroyer out of Star Wars or something. It's just, you hear it coming, you hear it in its air, and you hear it's going. Shame they can't. I've got some new headphones and I can actually hear more of this audio than I could previously. I basically just got the new version of the old headphones I had for 10 years. So I had my old headphones for 10 years and they were just falling apart and the batteries weren't working. So I just literally got the new pair. And they're just a bit better. Oh, Damon's going to first IMSA at the Glen at WattyG. You can't call it WattyG, they don't like it. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Where are you gonna sit? Outside turn 1? Welcome Sean, welcome Kevin Kelly as well. MB Auto saying McLaren will fall off this year. Yeah, no one cares about Lando. Yeah, no Oscar as well. Yeah, no Oscar for Melbourne. Yeah, Audi's an F1. Lilic Money, Lil C Money 584. Lewis has always won in second season every team he's been with. Okay, so you mean McLaren and Mercedes? Yeah. Used to go to the Monaco Historique. I would love to go. I think hopefully we'll go with Formula E again. Yeah, I would love to go to the Historic. I want to go to the Le Mans Classics. I was meant to go last year for a stag party. But then I think it clashed with Silverstone or something, didn't it? So I would love to go back for Le Mans Classic. Do you listen to Iron Maiden? I'm not listening to Iron Maiden all the time, but I know they'll be doing some big gigs. They went to my stadium. Yeah, Nebworth will be massive. That will be absolutely huge. In fact, the day I went to McLaren in the summer, Iron Maiden were playing in town. So there was a big ton of people. There's a lot of stuff being moved around the paddock. Maybe some delayed freight. Do you know what happened to Aston Martin? I think someone hasn't compromised on that car. Previously at Red Bull, there was enough compromise for the car to work. But clearly with this Aston Martin, between them and Honda, someone hasn't compromised. And I would suspect it's Adrian Newey. So there's too many vibrations going through the car. Kimi basically handed in those 2 points over Max. I don't think it didn't come down to those 2 points. It didn't matter in the end, right? Because of Oscar. But I think the more interesting thing is like, who was it? Carlos Sainz he overtook as well in that race. But yeah, Lando's recovery there was huge. Otherwise, it could have been advantage Max. Anyway, I analysed that race. There was a lot of stuff that Red Bull could have done. Actually, it didn't help that. Gosh, who was in the second Red Bull at that point? They started with Lawson. They dropped Lawson. How's my mind so blank on that? I don't even want to chat. You can write it, but I don't want to. Who was in the second Red? How can my mind be so blank? Sonoda. Yeah, Sonoda. Sonoda was washed. Yeah, so that point, Sonoda, because, yeah, Perez doing the defence in 21, the maximum Minister of Defence, Sonoda, I mean, to be fair to Sonoda, by the letter of the law, it was probably an illegal overtake by Lando, because he was all over the white lines. So you could say Sonoda played it perfectly. But I think the reality is that Red Bull should have boxed Max. So, you know, I think if their leadership had more appetite for controversy back in the day, they would have done it. AKA, if Christian Horner was on the pit wall, I think they would have done it. I think they would have backed everyone up. But they decided not to. Thanks, Aninka. Hope we see you later. Yeah, 24 races this year. Madrid and Barcelona this year. Kind of would like to go to Barcelona because it's one of my favourite circuits. Now it's going to alternate, if I remember. Freddie thought last season was really excellent. I feel like I really don't think we'll remember it. Partly because I feel like this season is going to set the tone for the next, also like generation, but like, you know, next period of Formula One. So I don't think we'll remember in the same way that. Well, I don't know. Maybe a bit harsh. But I don't think it's going to go down as the most memorable season. But let's see what happens here, because the reality here, either we're going to have same drivers fighting for the championship as we had last year, or we're going to have completely new drivers, which are going to be fun. Or, as part of that, the top drivers are going to be so much faster than everyone else. And that could be that we won't know. That picture is going to become clearer today, but that could also happen. Freddie, if you can't count on Red Bull for controversy, the game's gone. Yeah, exactly. That was their moment. Christian Horner would have been licking his lips on that. There's a big engine on Sky. So do Audi still sponsor Sky Sports? I find that Audi sponsors Formula One on Sky Sports. I find that really interesting, because isn't that a little bit like Manchester United sponsoring the Premier League? Or is it a bit like the United Nations sponsoring Sky News? Maybe stretching it a bit there. But I find the concept quite interesting that one of the teams in the championship can sponsor the broadcaster. Do you think the Middle East races will get cancelled? If you ask me now, I would actually say yes, because there's a big calendar already. If engines goes bang here, I don't think Formula One will mind more development time, if that makes sense, for how the product looks. So it would not surprise me if they get cancelled, actually. And I think there's probably a window to do it. The later they leave it, the more they put themselves in the bind. Well, they'll have to deny they're going to get cancelled, but the situation might be such that it goes in the opposite direction, and there'll be that moment in time where it just becomes untenable. Freddie, not memorable, but excited towards the end. Yeah, at least it came down to the end. At least it came down to the end. And to be fair, like, if things had gone a bit different at the end, it almost could be like not an all-time season, but a very exciting season. So I just felt like it just kind of whimpered out. I thought the last race was a bit an anticlimax maybe, but there was a story going, and I think Max was just a little bit too far off, but it was close. I think it did a lot for Max's reputation. Kevin, I'm new here. Where are you? I'm in London. You're in Arkansas. I've been a fan since 1975. So was that no, Lauda was 74. Who was 75? Who won in 75? Sorted that has. Seattle, we could miss Bahrain, Jeddah and Baku if so. Yeah, I don't know about Baku. But we'll see what Formula One... I mean, Formula One itself is kind of, I guess, a bit of a target, so Formula One might want to make the decision, but we will see. I mean, it's not too long ago we were starting in Bahrain, right? And I don't think that would be tenable right now. I don't think they'd replace the races either. I don't think they'd replace the races. There might be something in the contracts that for those circuits they have to guarantee safety. So there might be this might be quite a simple cancellation. I don't know. Kevin, I read an article in I think a Road and Track magazine about Nicky's car, and I was hooked. There we go. So it was Nicky Lauda. No, Hunt was 76, wasn't it? Can anyone confirm when did Hunt win? Michael, Bahrain is my strongest in F125 and terrible LMU. That's funny because I love Bahrain and LMU in GT3s. I'm not very good in F1 because some of the corners are just too fast. Whereas in GT3, I really love it. I love attacking the curbs. I actually quite like Sector 1 in GT3s, especially if you've got track limits to play with. It's quite fun. The back end of the circuit is not really very memorable. Yeah, so barring moment, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and do this now. So I'm gonna try and do this on the fly. So bear with me, okay? Let's see if this is gonna work. Maybe it's not gonna work. Maybe it is gonna work. We will see. Okay. Just bear with me a second. Yeah, we'll see. There's actually no guarantees on timing today. Just want to make that clear because it's all first race season, but we'll do our best. 76 was Hunt. And then who was after Hunt? This is where we can go backwards. When we get to the likes of Prost, and Senna, then we can kind of Mansell. We can kind of get there, but. You go to 70s, there might be a Patrese in there. There might be a Nelson Piquet Jr. A Nelson Piquet. Welcome, Quatchduck. Good to see you. They always change the format of the usernames and everything like that. Good to see you. Good to see you back in the streams. We're back in Formula 1. Part of FOMO just looking into 979 Villeneuve 118 scale model. Yeah, honestly, I would go for it. When I was in Germany a couple of weeks ago, I went to Motor World. Was I in Berlin or Munich? I think I was in Munich. I went to Motor World, and I walked around Motor World because, I like looking at cars. And they had a massive scale model shop. Like I saw 50% off. So I bought the 963 with the anniversary livery because I was at Spa when they unveiled it, which was pretty cool. And I bought the Lamborghini Essenza because I have the Essenza wheel. But there was quite a few 50% off. There was a load of Sergio Perez Red Bull stuff 50% off. Yeah, JJ, that is that's a big reminder that I need to update those badges because you're on 55 months membership, and I've got you on a 24-month badge. There's a lot of delta there. But thanks so much, chat. I think everyone, we all need to put a clap in chat there. Quatched up with 55 months membership. 55 months. Which is absolutely insane. I'm trying to find the best claps I can find. I'm going to do these. I'm going to do a whole thing. Look at this. Thank you very much. Yeah, I do. I'm kind of surprised someone just hasn't done it already and sent it. And this is an embarrassment. I'm just going to do it for you. But yeah, I will do that. I need to find the file because they're quite nice logos. And obviously, it wouldn't be that difficult to do 36 and 48. Ever looking back, yeah. Well, thank you so much. Please, everyone, please come on, more people, get your claps out there. That's incredible. That's 55 months of being a member of this channel. That means every month paying for a membership, which is absolutely insane. I've done too many here. Which is crazy support of this channel. Seeing this channel just continue to grow and evolve. Jensen Button down in Melbourne. Sash Mika Pillay 8407. It's 3 AM and I didn't want to put the alarm off and go to the lounge. So you're just watching in bed? Welcome, Hoda. Yeah, thanks, Quatchuck. I really appreciate it. Is it JJ? YouTube is changing the logos for me. Yeah, in the USA, F1 is now on Apple TV. Okay, so we must be getting closer now. We must be getting closer. Fingers crossed. I'm sure the timing will update. But we will see. In any event, I'm going to guide you through because this isn't really about on-track battling per se. This is about seeing who's looking consistent, who's looking strong. Martin says the rise of Ferrari. We're thinking Tifosi. We're thinking Tifosi here. Cruelson, now I cannot record anything. What do you mean you can't record anything? What does that mean? You with the horse. Could be Ferrari's year. If it's Ferrari's year, I think it would be. The most poetic thing would be if Lewis helps Charles Leclerc to the title. That would be very wholesome. Does anyone agree? You're watching and it starts in 4 minutes. Okay. Martin says, "Mark my words, Hamilton's back." What have you heard? What have you heard on the street? ESPN did not outbid Apple. Oh, is it because it's ESPN? It's on broadcast. You can put your TiVo. Do you have a TiVo? Do you agree it's a little odd that F1 loses power on a straight? Yeah, but it's like, I don't know whether there's a storyline that to generate interest or something, but like when I go karting, sometimes it's quicker to do weird things, and you just do that. Like ultimately, I want to finish the race, and it's not that I want to finish the race in the quickest time. I want to win the race. I'll do whatever it takes to win the race within whatever's legal. So this is just a new way of managing the car. For example, the track where I won some of these trophies, where I won the championship, the first corner, you can do the first corner flat out. Like, if you want to be super brave, you can not lift at all. You can turn in, not lift. But I know by the end of a 40-minute race, I'm going to be really struggling on grip because I've cooked the tyres. So what I do is from the start, do a little lift just to position the car, and then I'm flat through it. And that means at the end of the race, I'm gaining loads of time on people. That means at the beginning, I'm doing that corner slower than I could do, but that's just part of racing. So from my perspective, I don't... it's all part of the management. And also, because I do a lot of stuff with Formula E, I'm really used to the peloton racing in Formula E and like... I agree, Kireth, what you're saying, but that F1 car is sprint machine, not endurance. But that's... I know, but you say that. We all say that, right? But it's not really true. That statement isn't really true, because a Formula 1 race goes for like 1.5 hours or something. That's longer than a stint in an endurance race. That's longer than the fuel tank in a GT3. So for the individual driver and the car operating... I know they're doing pit stop, but anyway, it's like... It gets confusing because F1 now has sprint races that are definitely sprints, and they feel like ridiculously short, I would say. A bit controversial, but maybe. Tyler, Hamilton has to go for the championship. Joey says let Ferrari battle until mid-season, then back the leading driver. Yeah, how smart are Ferrari going to be, or not? Martin, Hamilton against his former apprentice Russell. 23 minutes still on track. Yeah, the drivers are still milling about, so I'd be surprised if it's 4 minutes. Of course, I have a packet that allows me to use Xfinity, allows me to record using a DVR, all good. I have Prime Video in this packet. I'll have to pay $15 a month to watch F1. Yeah, in the UK I pay for Sky, and I paid for Sky over the winter. I don't watch football. I don't watch darts. So I've just been paying for Sky over the winter and not watching it, but... Yeah. Ron Walusi saying, a smiling Hamilton is dangerous. We have seen this ever so often. And Kevin says, I was wrong. It was Car and Driver magazine in 1974 on Nicky's car. I asked Gemini. Do you trust Gemini there, or did Gemini direct you to a source? Hodel says Lewis winning Driver Championship this year is going to be box office. Well, he is a producer on the Formula 1 movie. Michael says every country has a different way to watch F1. The coverage rights is a mess. Here in Australia, it's basically impossible to watch onboard driver cameras. I'm hoping Apple takes the rights worldwide. Yeah, it's big enough to have its unitary thing. I think the Premier League football is going that way as well. They'll wanna own their audience, and then they can just do a lot more with it. It's interesting. We might see, obviously, with what's going on in the US with like the Warner Brothers deal, legacy broadcasters and that medium that we pay a broadcaster, and the broadcaster chooses what to do with that money and then goes out and gets rights, might seem a bit antiquated in a world where, you know, it's not like we subscribe to a record label and they kind of pick and choose what music we can listen to. No, we subscribe to Spotify, Apple Music, and we listen to everything. Or we listen to specifically what we want to listen to, is actually the truth. So maybe in the future it makes sense that I want to watch F1, I'm going to pay for an F1 direct subscription wherever I am in the world. Black said, I can't believe it. Live F1 has reached Croatia. Is that on free TV? Apple TV live stream is up now. Okay, so Apple TV is up. Their pre-show. Kevin, I trust Gemini. It sparked my memory. Gemini's answer was about 9 pages long. Did you do the deep research? Ron Walusi says we might be sleeping on Antonelli, young kid with no fear behind the wheel. Yeah, could be. FTV1 is running. Is that what it is on Apple? RTL is free, so is it going out in Germany as well? On RTL broadcast. Let me try this again. First race of the season. $80 minutes to go. Oh, it's Croatian RTL. Okay, so there is also some expansion through the broadcasters. Welcome prevention to park. Practice starts in 18 minutes. Okay, good to see. It's funny how there are cars out in the pit lane I can let you know about. And the Sky F1 reporters are touching the wing, which just seems bizarre. But anyway, it's funny how the cars, like, they're we talk in the off-season about how they're so different, but they're Formula 1 cars. They look like Formula 1 cars. They don't, from some angles, they don't look particularly different to last year, especially when they've got the same livery and advertisers on. Maybe it really shows how the liveries... There's an interesting object in the McLaren sticking out of the engine. What do you think of Danica Patrick parting of Squares? Well, I never listened because I don't listen to the commentary, so I don't hear a single word of commentary. Yeah. What's this new layout for Melbourne? No, that's still the Bahrain track map. Hopefully everything will update. We'll see. McLaren sponsored by Etihad, Dell, Gemini. It's funny how they used to be sponsored by Google Chrome, but now Gemini is the brand that Google want to use. And Puma as well. Iron Mountain. MasterCard. But I thought the official name of the team was going to become MasterCard McLaren. Has that happened? Is it now actually MasterCard McLaren? It's funny how, compared to sim racing, how I don't mean this lightly, how basic the Formula 1 wheel looks, because it shows how sim racing is getting out of hand. It is Masterclass McLaren, okay. Any tips what to watch for during FP1? I would watch for which teams are just running the most laps. Keep an eye, definitely when you're looking at times, remember what tyre the cars are on. Look at gaps between teammates. So if there's not big gaps between teammates, that might be indicative of car performance. Let's see if this is all going to update. We will see as we're getting closer. Welcome, Yolanda Vesti. Good to see you. Happy times are back again. Yeah, we're back for new season. Another year older, another year wiser. Right. I think we're going to get this going. So if you can bear with me, I think I'm going to be able to cook up something. I think I'm going to be able to cook up something. Let's see. My first season also being a dad, which means that this is the first season where I'm not like, oh, Melbourne's late. Oh, what's this time of day? Because now I'm just like, yeah. Let's see if this is going to work. Oh. Ah. There's 22 drivers this year. That's going to be a bit of a problem, isn't it? How are we going to get 22 in my neat thing? Oh, there's our answer. Just bear with me. Do we want a black background there? Do we want this colourful one? What are we feeling? What are we feeling there? Who won the moto race earlier? There was no... It was qualifying. And actually it was the first part of qualifying. Ah, that's what that is. Oh no. It would appear I've run out of space. I guess the subscriber thing can kind of go anywhere, can't it? Make sure to subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Okay. A bit rough, but happy with it. Do we want to do a black track?
Full concentration, anything can happen still.
Do we want to do a black track? What do we think? Do we go dark mode this season? I think we go dark mode. We can mix. I think it just looks like, yeah, black track, black for sure. If anyone disagrees, then let me know. Yes, we're getting close now. George Russell's near the car. Anthony's near the car. It's almost time for cars on track.
Keep trying.
Sorry, I missed all the chat there. Welcome to Smart Face. Because I see you in the Moto America earlier as well. Oh yeah, who won it? Well, yeah, it's qualifying, so find out tomorrow. What do you think Colton Herta will do in F2? I don't know, because I think F2 will already have run, won't they? I see a headline, Herta crashed an hour ago. Well, there we go. There's your answer. I mean, it feels like there's a Cadillac seat waiting for him. Welcome, Foxman47. It's good contrast with that. It feels mean this season, doesn't it? It feels mean. Also having 22 cars. Oh, we get video? No, we won't have video. If you want video, join the Discords. Because we'll be doing Moto America where you will have video. And we actually did that today, which was really cool. World first, actually. Okay, so we're almost ready for FP. I feel like that's gone very quickly. I'm glad we had that time to set everything up. Keep an eye on... it looks like Williams are revving the car. Remember, Williams are also a team. Shambles for Barcelona. The test, that wasn't a test, or was a test, whatever it is. It was a test, let's call it a test. They didn't turn up. So, let's see if that time has actually... they've used it to recover or not. No chance of rain, I think. But yeah, let's do another question. Who do you think is going to do the best? Who's going to impress the most in this upcoming session? Who's going to impress the most in FP1? Which driver? We're like, whoa, could be Lindblad. Could be Lindblad potentially. I don't know what the postcode lottery is. I thought the postcode lottery is like where you're born. It's like how it's like, oh, you're born in this area, so you're sorted. I don't understand the people's postcode lottery. Hodel would love to see Williams do well this year. Let's see. If it's going to happen, it's going to be this season. It seems. Part Femi says Haas, Startimer Perez. Daniel says Bortoletto. Well, that's an interesting shout. Let's see. Bortoletto and Hulkenberg at Audi. They're an interesting combination. Don't know what the odds are on Bortoletto World Champ, but if they're long. Behrman tops the midfield. Yeah, maybe Behrman's really going to go for it and want to really go for that. There's some spider up here that's burrowing and it kicks out dirt. The dirt ends up going into whatever I've got down there. Part of Femi, I trust Hajar 16 or 24 racing in Q3. Yeah, Hajar was really impressing last season, but I just think going into that Red Bull that's clearly designed for Max is problematic, let's say. Again, in my opinion. So we're going to be underway very, very, very soon. Let's see how the Aston Martins do. Welcome Witty Poet, welcome Carl 10, welcome Josh Stewart. Yeah, if you please do subscribe. If you want to be here for the season and be here for the stuff we'll do with live footage, then absolutely hit the subscribe button. It's all the way up there. I should put a big subscribe button next to it. I don't know why I haven't done that. Saturday free practice 1:10 a.m. qualifying 4:10 a.m. Do I wake up early for that or do I stay late for it? What are people doing in UK and Europe for that? Nelina says, bro, when this starting? Well, bro, it's starting imminently. It's starting very, very, very soon. That McLaren are revving Piastri's car, it seems. The new titles are way better than last year. Like, it's not just people standing in a box. Actually feels like it has its own style. Feels a bit 3D. Yolanda says stay up late. Take a quick nap and come back later on, Josh Kaminsky. What, in between FP3 and qualifying? Do you sacrifice FP3 for qualifying? I'm not sure. Cars about to go on circuit, it seems. Cars about to go on circuit. iRacing Arcade. Let's do a big iRacing Arcade career mode push in the GP cars. It looks like that's Hulk. Maybe Hulkenberg in the Audi wants to be the first driver out. Should we do a little bet? Are we going to have a retirement in this session? I'm going to say absolutely yes. So much to talk about here with the DRS gone and overtake and all this stuff. I don't think it's been explained that easily. Soft, medium, hard tyres. What flavour Celsius? It's just water. Bit of an overcast day in Melbourne, and interestingly, the grandstands are empty. What? This cannot be live footage because the grandstands are empty. I know it's FP1. No, but it's sunny. They got. That's really weird. They flew over some stock footage when it's cloudy and the grandstands are empty. I don't know why. I guess logistically I know why, because they booked a helicopter then. I'll laugh, it's not Aston Martin. Latifa says yes. Are the Astons even coming out? Well, if they want to technically enter the race to fulfill sponsorship obligations or contractual obligations with F1, they may not run here at all. Let's see. We could do it. We do a bit of a sweepstake there if anyone thinks the Astons are not going to come out. Everyone's at work. The thing is about following the Australian GP from where you live, it's like, it might be at an inconvenient time, but it's sure less inconvenient than going there and spending a long time on the plane there or back. Carl, I'm in USA at home, not work. Yeah, no, there was a helicopter overview at the beginning where it's overcast, but it's not overcast at the moment. It's clear, and there is a car at the end of the pit lane, which I think would be Hulkenberg. All rise for Hamilton. They'll come out but retire after turn 1. Let's see. Welcome Miguel Angel Guzman del Toro. Says, I don't think the Astons are coming out. Let's see. I haven't seen any footage of Aston drivers. Ah! Control 903, 10 kilometers away from the track. What's the weather saying? Yeah, not just the neck injuries, but also their hand injuries. People saying hand injuries. Audi F1. The Audi car is going to go out. The interesting thing about Audi is, like, this might sound harsh, but, like, how much brand pull does Audi have these days over, say, Porsche? Ooh, there's going to be Floviz on the Ferrari. Well, there is Floviz on the Ferrari, unless it's been gunged on like a children's TV show. They're going out with Floviz. Michael loves the Audi livery. Right, so Hulkenberg is first out on circuit. Hulkenberg is first out. Strong move by Audi. Hodel says, let's go, Lewis. Ocon, Behrman, Sir Lewis Hamilton, Antonelli. Jupiter said, this year is our year. Whose year? Who were you supporting? Martin says, Lewis, eager beaver. Yeah, there goes Hamilton. I'm feeling a lot of support for Sir Lewis Hamilton here. Verstappen on the move as well. But yeah, from a distance, the cars don't really... You put that car in front of 100 people in the world, just random people, and say it does look any different. They'd be like, no, that's a Formula 1 car. It's all about the subtle differences and all about the changes to the racing, I think, is what matters most. It's 20 degrees in Melbourne. Yes, that corresponds with our data. Star Tamer, let's put it this way: the choice was to ride Audi in case they find it tough. They'll rebrand Porsche when the time is right, and could even okay. So they'll go out there with Audi because the brand could sustain it. If it actually is going decent, yeah, let's call it a Porsche now. Freddie saying, update: we found a suspected PE-related issue which will prevent Fernando from participating in FP1. So Lance Stroll is going out. Do we read between the lines there? Is this suspected PU issue actually Fernando saying, I'm not going out? Is that the suspected PU issue? What do we think, chat? So news coming in there from Freddie, from Aston Martin, saying Fernando is not going to participate in FP1. I mean, FP2 is only in a couple of hours. Fernando, the car is faster than you. Because Lance Stroll is out on circuit. Coulson, who will sabotbag? Who will sabotbag? I'm not sure. Let's see. Welcome to UPSI. Carter Stroll's out and control is eating an Oscar Piastri burger right now. Are they popular? Are they the one with like the blackened buns? Oh, Mr. Andretti. Mario Andretti is in the in garage. World champion 1978. One of the ones that we kind of forget sometimes. Oh no, a McLaren yellow flag. Piastri, it seems, maybe. I'm not sure. Yellow flag. McLaren going very slowly. Piastri saying, I've got no power. Season starts now, everyone. Drink. Every time a car has an issue, drink. No power, Oscar Piastri. Looks like he's on his way now. Maybe slowly. Oh, from the constructor's winning car. Oscar Piastri, no power, yellow flag. Looks to be on the move now. Oh, and there's a car that was stopped on pit exit. Arvin Lindblad was stopped on pit exit. It's getting embarrassing for Formula 1, this. Come on, gentlemen. Can we even construct a car these days in an AI age? VSC deployed, by the way. VSC deployed. That could be a test. That could be a test just to check it's working. A shakedown, if you will. Where is Lindblad on the track map? Has it even shown him leaving the pits? No, stop. It shows stop. So VSC, because I think Lindblad... And there was some drama going on. A McLaren and a Red Bull racing each other. I think Piastri and Hadjar were racing each other. As VSC came out, there's Lawson ahead of them. So it was all getting a bit silly between Piastri and Hadjar. Yeah, we're on VRC. Or how long did we last? I think we lasted about 30 seconds before a car broke down. Welcome to Formula 1, ladies and gentlemen. Just one more like as well, and we'll achieve that target. Someone do us a favour. In fact, everyone hit the like button. We'll have to obliterate that. Make sure you subscribe as well, because it seems like it's going to be quite a season. And Mr. Lindblad, who I was saying it could be a tough season for, may, I don't know what the rules are here, not be able to participate in this session because marshals are rolling him back. And interestingly, a car left the pit there, which I thought was very unnecessarily dangerous. There's no need for that car to leave the pit while their marshals are rolling the car backwards across the pit exit. It just seems utterly bizarre. Whoever left the pit needed to cut the pit exit. So, very strange. That's interesting. There's a drone cam, but there's clearly a delay on the drone cam. VSC ending. So Lindblad's been rolled back. I don't know whether that can be recovered. It is an FP. If that was qualifying, I think it'd be GG's. But at the moment, it's Marshall's pushing it back. Surprised that we haven't seen Racing Bull's mechanics run down the pit lane to recover that. Catherine says, "Is this real?" This is real, Catherine. Kathleen, if it was not real, would I have mispronounced your name? Where can you watch Apple? If Piastri wins, you get a free Piastri burger. That can't be true. So what happened with Lindblad? It was coming out of the pits and looked like there was pulled the clutch in or something. And abandoned the start. So whether he's going to be able to participate, I'm not entirely sure. There's some people with Ford hats on looking a bit embarrassed. Thank you, Josh Kaminsky. Want to say it's my first time joining the stream. Love your work. Love your work, especially the Vintage Gamer. Thank you very much. I appreciate Josh Kaminsky. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Chat, please can we like that? Please can we give some claps for Josh Kaminsky for a £5 super donation? I'm going to give... First I'm going to give it the red card, but I'm going to say goal. Bit of football themed. Please get your chat claps out there, everyone in the chat. I can't even pronounce this stuff. As Lando gets wheeled back into the pits. Thank you very much, Josh Kaminsky. Yeah, video game. So people want to see more of that. We could do more of it. It's not that complicated to do. And we don't mind just saying what we think. That was not a scripted video. The crunch sound on the V-carb, yeah. Did he have to clutch in the end just to save the drive shaft? Michael says Cadillac going out. Yeah, so Norris got wheeled back in, and I don't think he looked too happy about it. Meanwhile, I haven't even talked about lap times yet, but lap times for Verstappen 122.9. By the way, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone. A big thank you to everyone who voted for us in Creator of the Year. So we were nominated for Creator of the Year at the Autosport Awards, and I actually went to the awards ceremony. So big thank you to everyone who nominated. I know I was reminding people last year we didn't win it, but we had fun, and we shot a lot of content, which I'll show you throughout the season. Apple TV is presented by Ford Racing. Oh, so Audi have locked down Sky. Apple got Ford, and like I said, there were some people in Ford hats looking a little bit embarrassed there at what was going on with Arvid Lindblad's car. And I was saying the other day on a show, I wonder if Ford are going to want to take all the credit for any success of Red Bull, but going to want to distance themselves from any failures, and that could be difficult when it comes to accountability in that team. The People's Champ, yeah, the People's Champ. Just run up on stage and award yourself the People's Champ prize. Not sounding like a good start to the season. Well, I wonder if one of the Mercedes has a reliability problem here. George Russell going very slowly. Wonder if Russell's going to box here, because Russell's been cutting a lot of corners. Is Russell going to box? No, but interesting there. Chat, please, let's give some more claps out for Josh Kaminsky. 800 people watching. Please put some claps out there for Josh, because Josh has given us a super chat. Let's clap it up. That's how we roll. The Apple broadcast is really nice. What have they gone for? Nice cameras, for example. Verstappen issue. Let's see. Verstappen, well, at the moment he's fastest. Is he going slow though? Yeah, 55 kilometers an hour. Yeah, issue for Verstappen unless he's dropping into clean air. Still 80 kilometers an hour. Seems very slow. 60 kilometers an hour. Yeah, maybe an issue for Verstappen here. We'll get some eyes on it. Last year's poll was Lando was 1 minute 15. Okay, we'll see. We'll compare. Now Verstappen on the move. Maybe he's just getting some clean air. Is he going to box out? Thanks, Josh. No, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Welcome, Esteban. Verstappen does not box. So again, we've seen Russell going slowly, Verstappen going slowly. Maybe they are just testing different modes, etc. And Verstappen fastest, but yeah, as we got the data in chat, 1 minute 15 dead last year for Lando on pole. Is that another Mercedes going slow? Or is that the Audi? It's going to be very difficult to spot between the Audi and the Mercedes at a distance until I get used to the cars. But interestingly, on the standings, Audi are red, but the car's not red. Alfonso out, yeah, as in, well, not out here, out of the session. Bortoletto hasn't gone out either in the Audi. Hamilton issue? Not sure, not that I can see. Hamilton is P2 right now. Will Aston Martin make it out of the garage? Well, Lance Stroll was out, but did he just do an installation lap? 2 laps showing on the tyre. Meanwhile, Piastri's in as well. And Antonelli now grabs the fastest lap. 122.8. Again, still not representative. The McLaren monitors they put down in front of Piastri have a nice cutout in the middle. Maybe so we can just see the fans. Very nice. Aston is track shy. I think maybe Fernando Alfonso's gone on strike here. We'll see. Kathleen, Jason Whiskey, I'm new to this, don't really know how this works. Okay, so welcome Zed, Alex, Joe, George as well. Welcome anyone else who's subscribed. So the way this works is, this is the first weekend of Formula 1. There'll be 24 weekends throughout the season, subject to whether they race in the Middle East or not. Which just seems like an obvious thing. If it's dangerous to race in the Middle East, just don't. There's already 24 races. It's cool. So anyway, maybe there'll be 24 races. This is the first session of the weekend, which is a free practice session. Basically, they have the track for an hour, and they can do whatever they want within reason. So they're going out and testing their cars. This is the first time it's happened this season. They'll do it again in a few hours as well. They'll have a lunch break and go again in a few hours. And then tomorrow they'll do a final free practice session. And then they'll do qualifying, where they'll go out, drive the fastest, and it will set the order for the race. And then on Sunday, they'll actually race here. So they'll start from a grid, they'll race for about an hour and a half, go around in a circle, and at the end, we'll see who the fastest driver and teams are. So that's how it works. That's a very boiled down that they would not tell you. The CEO of General Motors is here on her iPhone. Josh saying, Ferrari looking quick. Leclerc up there, Hamilton up there. It's a smart face. Let's go Dark Horse Team Cadillac. And Control says, a friend of mine works for the company that makes the Aston Martin chassis. Not the one that's cracking, right? Or is it actually really strong because it can deal with the vibrations? I don't. If they don't go to Middle East, I reckon if they don't go to Middle East, by the way, I reckon they'll do some influencer stuff. I reckon they'll go to Silverstone and do some influencer stuff. That's my inside tip. Toto Wolf down on the ground. Welcome, Ven and Dragon. So at the moment, Verstappen reclaiming top spot, unless Antonelli had its time deleted, which is possible. No, I don't think so. Don't think so. So Verstappen has therefore reclaimed the top spot. And interestingly, with 22 cars on track, Q1, the end of Q1 is going to become even more congested at certain circuits. Welcome, Gina Kim. First time here and first time watching F1. Love your comment so far. Thank you so much, Gina. Welcome to Formula 1. What made you... What got you into just watching Formula 1 today? Welcome to Melbourne. For the first free practice session where the cars are basically just driving around in a circle, seeing if they'll break. That is essentially it. We don't need to make it fancier than that. They're going around this circle that's been squished a little bit. It's like a bag of, when you wrap your sandwich in foil, and then you go to work and you eat your sandwich and you're left with this foil, and then you just like rest of the day you're like making stuff out of the foil. You're like squeezing it. We all do that, right? Right? Well, that's what's happened here with this track, and they're just going around it. Still 20 degrees, yes indeed. F1 movie and Lewis Hamilton. Well, this is Lewis Hamilton's helmet here. You can see, Still We Rise. So it's meant to be my karting helmet this season. We'll see. Catherine saying yes, Leclerc is first. Yeah, Leclerc with a 122 dead on the medium tyre. Remember I said watch out what tyre these drivers are on. That's going to be important. Lance Stroll's in the pits, holding his hands gingerly. And I think being asked whether he feels he can go out again. Interestingly, for anyone who doesn't know who's new, Lance Stroll's dad owns the team, which is quite interesting. That reminds me, let's do a nations check, everyone. Foil swans, yeah. When you like twirl it, let's do a nations check. Chat. If you're watching, I want everyone in the chat to let us know where in the world you're watching from. Where in the world are you watching from? Oh, and Aston Martin blocking the garage. Aston Martin blocking the garage, but they've got, unfortunately, I'll just say vertically challenged gentleman there, and the cameraman has just gone over the top. So Aston Martin, maybe, I'm going to say, in fact, let's do nation check. So we got Blacker Croatia, Melbourne, Kireth, MGT, Detroit, Carl, USA, Zach, Lasco, welcome. Thanks for being a member. Mississippi, Roy, Netherlands, Peter, Holland, Sanchi, India, Catherine, Oman, Jared, USA, Michael, Maryland, Honeybee, Southwest England, Chatty from Mexico, Josh from UK Northwest, NGR Hong Kong, John DeWale, welcome back, John DeWale, Scotland. View 1 says USA with regret. Box UK, Michael, Melbourne, very nice. Cats, Palestine, Labunti, Wisconsin, Chef from USA also. Gabriella Dello, welcome back, Gabriella. Hey, Kireth, Glad Fries looking good. Star Tamer, England, Ahmed, Egypt, Joy, Taipei, BFG in Melbourne as well. Kathleen, now in Antarctica. Gina Dallas, Yolanda Vestig, Netherlands. Taps, Abu Dhabi. Juanadela Kelly, Colombia. Vicky Ryder, California. Gabriella, South Africa. Nathan, Kenya. Joe Blogs listing on Radio 5 as well. Ryder K, Malaysia. Saigon from Vietnam. Regular Montreal. Ben H. Mars. Yusuf, Pakistan. Jupiter, Argentina. Keen from Ireland. Esteban, France. Red School from the Isle of Wight. Amin from Morocco. So lots of people watching, which is fantastic. So what I was going to say is I reckon Fernando Alonso's car, the reason why they're not doing it is because they're doing upgrades. That's the real reason. That's what I reckon. I think they're using the time to fit something, and maybe they had a part come in that's been delayed through the Middle East. I don't know. Welcome KJ, Jorge Rodriguez, Joel and Jason Bauer as well. Jason Bauer, isn't that the name of the movies? That's Jason Bourne. Samia saying Leclerc. Yeah, Leclerc 121.6 and Hadjar and Red Bull second and third. It's Hadjar and Verstappen for the Red Bulls. Second and third. Nate watching from the GTA. I don't know where. What from Los Santos. Good to have you back, Gabriella Dello. Good to have you back. 41 minutes to go here, and we've only had one car kind of break down, which was Lindblad. So the reliability is working, albeit Alfonso ain't coming out. And Lando's been in the pits a long time. Lando's only done 2 laps. Lance Stroll's only done 2 laps. And Piastri, I think, has only done 2 laps. I thought they'd done more than 2 laps, but that's what the tyres are showing. So really not a lot of laps for the McLarens. Oh, Greater Toronto Area, not Los Santos. I just looked really, really stupid there. Jilt is watching from Puerto Rico. Welcome to Prifitar, watching from, or listening from Argentina. Welcome aboard. If you're new here, firstly, if you want to see more watch-alongs like this, make sure to subscribe. If you want to tomorrow see a watch-along like this where we have the actual footage, subscribe also, because in the Discord we're going to be doing another Motor America stream where you actually you can see the stuff as well, which is really cool. Every other live I join it tells me it's another person in first. It's chopping and changing. We think it's Charles Leclerc. Esteban saying, come on, guys, you do a big time. Catherine, how many laps did Leclerc do? Well, it's showing 11 laps on this medium. Joyu Coverage Wholesaler, you cover the whole entire weekend. It sounds like an instruction to your wholesaler. Sounds like you're a distributor and you've sent a text. Lots of cars on circuit at the moment. Bottas is out there in the Cadillacs. The Cadillac's still doing virtually installations, it seems. What are the Audis saying? Well, there's Bortoletto answering my question. 22.8 it seems for Bortoletto. Might be a GPS issue with Bortoletto as well. But 22.8 for Bortoletto in the Audi. Are we starting to see Ferrari engine cars go up there as well? Well, Ocon and Behrman, but not the Cadillacs. Like that GPS on the track. Ben says, how disappointing for McLaren. Let's see, is this a problem for McLaren? Well, Piastri's out on circuit now. On the same set of mediums, it seems. What are the lines? Are they aero zones? I'm going to be honest. Honestly, I don't fully understand the new overtaking system. Because I don't... There's an overtaking system, but there's also a... low and high, the active aero. So there's a lot going on, and I don't fully understand. Can anyone succinctly explain what's replaced DRS? Essentially, am I going to stream the next practice? We may do. We're definitely going to stream quality in the race. Kin, you know I should have figured you get it by accident, but that's the first time I had my name pronounced correctly on first read in a while. Dealing with too many Americans these days. How do they pronounce it? Thing is, when you've worked with a few Kians... Straight mode, I believe, like active aero. Yeah, but the thing is, some of those things are not straight. Like, the one after turn 8 is not... To a person coming in, that's not straight. For me, for me acting as a racing driver, if I'm not braking, it's straight. But when you look at it like that, it doesn't look straight. Hadjar looking comfortable in second Red Bull seat. Oh yeah, look at that. Hadjar 21.4. Hadjar world champ. Valtteri Bottas already giving the finger to a Ferrari, I believe. I got fully blocked by Lewis. There's a backstory there. You're not grateful, Valtteri? Not bitter? Welcome, EA Creative. Good morning. Zach Lasco says, new active aero allows drivers to engage based on my understanding, unlike the DRS zones. Yeah, but there's difference between active aero and overtake. Welcome, Drake Roberts. How you doing, bro? Watching from Wales. Not doing too bad, thanks. Not doing too bad at all. 37 minutes to go here. Jupiter's hoping Hadjar does... Oh, here we go. Michael, the active aero is always active. The overtake zone gives extra battery power. Yeah, but is the active aero, is it designated in certain areas, or is it fully up to the teams to do? The driver be lift a lap. The driver be a lift lap after quickest lap. Are you saying, yeah, or if they're doing quality simulations, yeah, but at the moment I think a lot of them are just kind of doing race. So these lap times are nowhere near quali times, they're more like race pace times. Is Norris rolling again? Yes, he is. Norris is rolling. Active aero is automatic, based on what the teams program in. Is it a bit like is that the same with hypercar hybrid deployment? Issa, when I met Hadjar, I told him he'd win a couple of races. He laughed it off. Well, I met Hadjar at the Autosport Awards. He said we both had suit issues. Let's put it like that. We both had suit issues, and Hadjar won Rookie of the Year. It's basically DRS everywhere all the time. Are we getting simulated overtake mode though as well? And do we know if the Ferrari Wang is rotating? Welcome, EA Created, Top BR, Formula Cod, Riley, and Race Factory. If you want to be on that screen, make sure subscribers, or we could get to 132,000 subscribers. For sure, it could happen. EC, you met him in London randomly. It wasn't in January, was it? He didn't have a bag with a suit in one hand. Gina Kim, I heard there's new rules. Can someone explain these to me? Basically, the way cars can have a little bit of boost and go a bit faster has changed. Just to make, I don't know, people who make rules happy. At the moment, we're obsessed to see if the Ferrari rear wing is going to do a 360. Active aero is active in a specific zone of the track and they can activate it, but that's a slightly different answer we got before. Riley says it's called active arrow. Active arrow sounds like a sort of military mission. Mission active arrow. Oh, there's some battling between one of the Williams and one of the Alpines. I'm going to guess it's Colapinto. I might be wrong. It might have been Albon and Colapinto. Yeah, I don't think Albon's too happy about it. He's probably venting on the radio. Who do you think is going to be underdog this season? Well, Aston Martin. Aston Martin is your underdog this season. What a fall from grace. Oh my goodness, Piastri was super aggressive. I mean, what's really interesting, if you go back to last season, right? So, and I was tipping Piastri this time last year. I was saying to everyone on stream, like, I think Piastri's going to win the season. I think Piastri, because he'd had such a strong sort of run the previous season of like improving. Norris puts it on pole, but then Piastri does really well. Then the rain comes down. Norris and Piastri go off. But Piastri gets really unlucky and gets beached, I think in front of all the hospitality. And somehow, to his credit, manages to get unbeached and manages to save a couple of points. But if that, Norris got off relatively lightly. If Piastri had millimetres been different and just kept going, by the end of the season, that would have made a huge difference. And I think also psychologically, it gave Norris a bit of an upper hand. But Piastri came back. It was quite an interesting season between the McLarens. Oh my goodness, one of the Alpines is off. One of the Alpines is off there. I'm going to guess it's Colapinto. If Colapinto's boxed. One of the Alpines went into the gravel. So Arvid Lindblad, who was 6th in Formula 2. Not like Bortoleto who won it. Not like Drugovic who won it. It was 6. It's now in the Racing Bulls. One of the Alpines went wide, basically went into the gravel. I think it's Colapinto, possibly, because lap time deleted, maybe. Drake, my prediction for end of season, Max first, Russell going to do a madness. I mean, right now, my prediction before the session started was saying I'm saying Verstappen. I'm saying Verstappen. John the Well saying the Ferrari rotating wing is honestly the coolest new feature. Imagine if you put like a chicken on it. You could do like rotisserie chicken during a race off the back of the exhaust. Southwest Goat says, bruh, is anyone actually going to show us the actual freaking race? Yeah, make sure you subscribe because we're going to show you for Moto America. Welcome A Solo, Troy Smith, JK and Southwest as well. Gina Kim is hoping Ferrari does well this year, rooting for them. And Chatty's been on Gemini. Gemini says straight mode is limited to specific zones. Is Gemini going to be biased for McLaren though? Because Gemini sponsor McLaren. If you ask Gemini stuff about Formula 1, say, Gemini, who's the best Formula 1 driver? Lando Norris is an incredible... Is it going to be biased? Sentry's watching the race and listening to this commentary. My commiserations there. As one of the Red Bulls is in. Well, both the Red Bulls are in. In fact, a lot of the cars are in now. So will we see drivers come out on soft tyres? Well, George Russell... Looks like Russell's out on the soft tyre and getting ready to do a fast lap. And there's a bit of empty track. So keep an eye on Russell here. Russell could be about to do a mad one. Let's see. Is Russell going to do a mad one? Esteban, the Audi use a factory engine or Ferrari engine. They use their own engine. It's Cadillac who are using the Ferrari engine. Malachi says, pretty sure they can use straight mode wherever at their own risk. I thought it was for the teams to program in. 21 degrees at track now, getting a little bit warmer. Okay, so what's Russell saying? set a little bit of a mini purple sector, couple of purple sectors. Is Russell going to go faster than a 1 minute 20? Let's see. It's not the fastest sector one we've seen so far. Maybe Russell's getting ready. A lot of people tipping Russell. Is that a big Adidas logo on the side of the car? I feel like there's a massive Adidas stripe, like a T-Rex is sort of kind of like giving it a swipe. I'm not even sure it's an Adidas logo though. It's very confusing. Yeah, that Mercedes, hard to see. Looks like the camera angles are a little bit more designed to make the cars look faster in a way that at the moment seems a bit artificial. Like they're almost like deliberately being late following the cars. Like, oh my god, they're so fast. Where is it? It's definitely a different style to what we've seen before. It's the AMG thing. Okay. I thought it was Adidas. Oh, Zonna! Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Zonna, for the $5. Been enjoying all your content lately. We'll be joining as many watch-alongs as possible this season. Great strategies, Zonna. Chat, you know what to do. We can all like that. And leave some claps in for Zonna in chat. Please put your claps in, everyone. That's how we roll. Big thanks to Zonna for the $5 donation. Much appreciated. Haven't been able to drink yet because no one's broken down. Lawson, are you going to break down? No, Lawson's on pit out. Yeah, please put your clap emojis in the chat there, everyone. Celebrating the super chat from Zonna. Much appreciated. Kireth says, I am going on Sunday. Should I make a Piastri fan poster? I think you should make a poster saying, like, if you can see this, join the watch along. And then do a link, do the full URL link to this channel. Like, write out, or like, /C1, whatever. Like, do a thing to the stream. Like at the wrestling. I think that's what you should do. As Carlos Sainz just went a little bit wide in one of the penultimate corners. I think maybe it was on the exit of 12, not quite sure. Kicking up some dust from the gravel. There we go, all the claps coming in, that's what we love to see. Jupiter's going to Australia Grand Prix as well. Very nice, you guys do a meet-up. You'd have an even bigger sign. Right, Verstappen leaving the pits now. Charles Leclerc is fastest driver with 121.2, but Verstappen also on the soft tyre, so this could be the fastest Verstappen. Yeah, was it? I think was it exit 12? Yeah, 12, where Piastri and Lando went off last year. It looks like there might be a little bit of extra runoff now than there used to be. Feels like there should be a big curb there to discourage drivers from running wide. Why hasn't Fernando done the time? Oh! Thanks so much, Carl. I need to put that thing over the top. Thanks, Carl, for the $5. Very happy to have found your channel. I'll be back. Well, got an Arnold Schwarzenegger in the house here. Thank you very much, Carl. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for $5. Yeah, this is how we roll. Guys, this is why we're Autosport Award nominated for 2026. For the whole year, we benefit from that nomination, the nomination credentials. So this is what we do. Good to see all the claps coming in. Permission to spam the claps there for Carl. And Zonna previously. Ooh! Is that a Cadillac going slowly? Gonna keep an eye on it. Might be Perez. As Zhou Guan Yu is the reserve driver of Cadillac in the garage. Obviously a bit of a Ferrari connection there. Drago had no clue, but would love to see Norris take out Piastri as a laugh. I mean, difficult to see how that would happen. Who is also going to an Australian rules football game in Melbourne? Is that at the MCG or the MGC? What hour is your country? I don't even know. I literally could not tell you. Opinions on Ferrari so far? Well, I saw the Mercedes. It looked pretty good. So if the Ferrari's faster, the Ferrari must be planted. Welcome Grand Pixel Gal, Diana, Christillas, VG Dome, and Ratrat as well. Good to see you all. The green lines are low in the area zone. Oh, on the low area. Okay, so you... Okay. It's weird that you can override it. Well, if you're not feeling confident or something. Why would you override it there? Chatty, what are your hopes for Perez here in the future? I hope Perez can redeem himself. He's done it so many times before. He's been written off. Even back when he was at McLaren. I remember seeing him at McLaren. It looks like the F1 cameras on the cockpit have got a wider field of view. It looks like the drivers are really stretched out. That also might come from the movie. Wider field of view. Well, it's a bit of trickery. They've got a wide field of view where the camera is, but then I think it kind of focuses. If you have too wide field of view, it feels slow. Control hates Hottie rules. Catherine's past 5 and water there. Killer, do you remember I sent you your first ever super chat donation? I don't remember. What stream was that? Because I'll know when I had it activated. Do you remember? Roy's at work. Are you at what, a security card overnight? Register just tuned in. Any idea about which teams have bought the most upgrades over testing? Not sure, but I know that Lando is out of the car. Lando's out of the car and hasn't really done that many laps. So there's some kind of issue here for McLaren, or they don't want to show their hand. But I think that'll be a little bit weird. What has Sergio Perez done? Not sure. It's interesting the front wings now like so narrow with the aero on them with the new regulations. And the CEO of Cadillac is in the house checking on his investment. Paul Collins, 2M UK, hoping Ferrari can do well this year. Could be Ferrari's year. Are we playing F1 Manager? No. I used to on these streams. What's wrong with Leclerc? I don't think anything's wrong with Leclerc. I think he's doing absolutely fine. I think he's a very healthy human being. In fact, Leclerc on the move. They have to get rid of that blue on the Ferrari. The Ferrari livery is just really very poor. I have to say. Even the way that the driver just sits in this sea of white, I don't really like it. So honestly, if there's nothing else, that Cadillac is hot looking. I think it's better looking than the Ferrari, the factory Ferrari. Piastri being told Hadjar 5th, Hadjar 7th, Hadjar 10th, 11th, Hadjar 12th. Lots of Hadjars out there. Like Diglets. Who's Hamilton's engineer? It's a new engineer. Right, Leclerc was pushing it. Yeah, Leclerc 120.8. Leclerc goes over 120.8. So fastest lap for Leclerc. And Verstappen, who already did a quick lap, is now doing another out lap. Just coming out the pits. 120.9. And Hadjar just a little bit further behind. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll's barely done anything. So we can kind of write off Aston Martin. Perez and Bottas still basically doing installation. That cannot be their race pace, surely. And as I warned about early on, the Alpines worryingly off the pace as well. And then there's Lando still in the pits and out of the car while Piastri's on circuit. Remember, Piastri's car seemed to shut down. So it's not looking fantastic for McLaren. I would say at the moment, sorry if this sounds too obvious, I apologise, but between the Ferraris and the Red Bulls. Have you ever seen YouTubers drive electric F1? Yes. I think I made some funny videos on it. Welcome, Paul Collins. Good to see you. Jupiter, holy Leclerc. Yeah, Leclerc, 120.8. But again, remember, on the soft tyre. On that soft tyre. And Ocon in the pits. And Behrman in the pits. So both Aston in the pits. Lando's car, they're inspecting it. They're not happy about something. There's people underneath it. The nose cone's off. They're looking at it with a torch. I wonder if the car is shorting out or something. Maybe someone left something in there as they were building it. but it looks like they're basically kind of stripping that car down and rebuilding it. 18th of May. No, there's no way my first super chat would have been 18th of May. You'd say McLaren has gearbox problems. There we go. Yeah, so Lando was complaining about gearbox. And maybe that's why they're stripping it down. Wonder what Horner's doing this weekend. I wonder if he's in Melbourne. Kean said, I don't think the HP sponsorship works for anyone. Cheapens Ferrari badge and makes me dislike HP. I'm not buying. I'm going to buy Epson out of protest. 20 minutes to go in this FP1 session. If you haven't subscribed, by the way, please make sure to subscribe. In fact, what am I doing? Why do I point to it when I could just do this? Why have I not done this all the years? Why do I point to it like an idiot? I could just bring it to me. Oh no, I moved something else. Okay, that's why it's easy to point to it. Make sure to subscribe, and tomorrow we're going to be doing some stuff, more stuff with Moto America at Daytona with the actual footage. Very interesting.
Okay, crack on.
Any predictions on who will win the Australian Grand Prix? Verstappen, I'm going to say. Josh Kaminsky, McLaren are a full second behind. Disappointing considering the benchmark 2 is consecutively. Kind of early to say, but I think too early to say because Piastri hasn't done a soft tyre run. However, I agree with the general premise of what you're saying because Norris's car has a gearbox issue, Piastri's car had an issue, and it looks like their program is delayed. Oh, Bottas has lost the left mirror. So Bottas has lost the left mirror. Has there been contact or has it just fallen off? Jupiter, someone who likes Lance Stroll, I'm just going to cry. This Aston Martin car is so bad. It's so bad we don't even really know how bad it is. Oh my goodness, Hamilton was all over the gravel. I think on 8 maybe it was. All over the gravel. Yeah, there'll be memes about build quality if it's just fallen off. For sure. Yeah, so I don't know what Aston Martin is really. I have to say, I like the Ferrari livery from the driver cam. It kind of looks like a speedboat, but I don't like it from when you're looking forward into the looking at the driver. I think it looks horrendous. It looks like a sailor's uniform or something. Lando Norris, surely not. Yeah, Lando Norris is sitting in the hospitality with his mate Max Verstappen. So Lando Norris is almost making a point that it's not his fault. He's sitting in hospitality. And what's Hadjar been up to? Oh, Hadjar wasn't happy about getting overtaken on the straight. Yeah, definitely some field of view trickery. With and Hadjar's gone off very close to where he went off last year on the formation lap. Locked up into turn 1. But Hadjar's clearly not afraid to push it. And he cut straight across. He said, "Wow, that was a big lockup." Yeah, I'm jury's out for me on the field of view cameras Formula 1's using because they're quite artificial, I think. But definitely the visuals you're going to see and the clips and everything, it's going to make it seem faster. Yeah, Josh not a fan of these wide. Like, the thing is, I think we know as sim racers, like, if we went onto a sim and it was like that, we'd change it. We were like, this is nonsense. So the fact they're using it here is bit difficult for sim racers. Cadillac is new team. Audi's a rebrand. Yeah, a little bit more than the rebrand, but it's taken over the old Saudi team. Supposedly the Honda engine was shaking the mirrors loose. Well, now the Cadillac's done it as well. Maybe Perez and Bottas just don't complain, like Alfonso. What do you think about Ferrari this year? Looking pretty good. The engine looks good. See the Mercedes though creeping up. So there's half a second. I would say this is really exciting if you want to see close racing this year. There's half a second between Verstappen, Leclerc, Hadjar, Hamilton, Russell, Antonelli on the soft tyre, which is really close. Where's Alpine? You have to look near the bottom, my friend. So Smartface, they had a gearbox issue and they took it off the track. Is that an answer on Lando? Welcome Retro Gagan Flight. Do we hit the like button as well? Like, come on, we're on 204 likes. We should totally get to like 500 likes. We need to. This is the year that we just absolutely dominate. We could be on 2,000 likes. This is the year that we dominate on likes. We have to make it happen. Welcome doesn't balance. Four-wheel drive saying FP1 last year was a 117 and the top 13 would win a second. Yeah, but those cars were more iterations. But the point I was trying to make is that at least there's a group of cars within half a second, it seems, on the soft tyre. It could be like there's a car that's 2 seconds a lap faster than everyone else. That doesn't seem to be the case. Does Max usually win in Australia? I heard he's good. The best driver in F1. Is his car usually bad and makes it good? So Max has had periods where he's had not the best car. He's had periods where he's had the best car. He's had periods where he's had probably the second best car. And we just don't know where he's going to be this season. But I'm picking Max as the drivers' champion because if it's going to be a bit of, if Max's car is going to be there or thereabouts, then he is arguably the best driver. Thanks, Josh. Hit the like button. Yeah, Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes. It's ironically kind of what we had at times last season behind McLaren. So would we take that? Would we take those? Maybe the McLarens will get faster. NHS says, I'm interested in how much tactics change would having to say battery versus going full chat and risking running out. Well, the battery management is much more on a per lap basis than over the race like you have with Formula E, for example. So if you want to see battery management over a full race where you work really hard and then it pays dividends, look at Nick Cassidy last year in Berlin, for example, going from last to first, basically doing that. Chloe hopes Piastri wins, but also says, I think Mercedes has a high... Well, hang on, Chloe, who are you choosing? Piastri or Mercedes? And Nathan saying Leclerc for WDC. Well, 12 minutes to go. We've seen no one stack it. No one stacked it in the wall. And Lindblad has been able to get going again, obviously. Which is interesting because we weren't sure. But it's happened. Michael says, hi, Kireth. Order my Fantech cockpit. Very nice. Yeah, it's a big boy cockpit. It's a big boy cockpit. It's... Don't assemble it on your own if you don't need to. It'll make it a lot easier. Is battery management more on the driver or the team? Well, the driver and engineer will set a strategy, but it's up to the driver to really execute that strategy. Swarp says, to be honest, I don't hate Max, but just his toxic fan base. Yeah, the Anthony, yeah, exactly. Who has the more toxic fan base, though? Max or Cola Pinto? What happens when those fan bases collide? What happens when they combine? Welcome, Chris Boyks. Fernando never do a lap. Yeah, Aston. I've said... Oh, Alex Albon stopped on track. Hazard lights flashing. Yellow flag. VSC. Possibly red flag. Albon, I've lost power steering and everything. Yet we think hydraulic pressure. Now, the significance of this is maybe Williams just can't build a car. And they're sponsored by Claude. Maybe they just absolutely vibe coded this thing. How do you get sponsored by an AI company and get paid a ton of money by an AI company? And the AI company's like, oh, you should totally use our product in what you do. How can you, on the one hand, take the AI company's money as a sponsor? Because you're like, oh, we love your product. We'd love to run it on our car, like it with the brand synergy and totally, like, you know, it's just unbelievable. And when the AI company's like, oh, you should totally, design your next car with it then. Can you not turn around to them and say, no, we don't want, it's not actually that good. Your product's not good for that. Or you kind of in the bind that you have to be like, we can't say their product's bad because they're paying us loads of money. Okay, well just use it then. Just use it. So they basically vibe coded this Williams with Claude, and it's just broken down. It's what's happened. Josh says Williams haven't been the same after '97. Williams haven't been the same since The Williams family doesn't really know Frank. Well, Williams is Frank Williams, in my opinion. That's a statement. Welcome to your boy Alex. Oh, a Ferrari coming in, smoking out the rear. Why is it smoking out the rear, this Ferrari? Just hot? Just venting? So we're still in the VSC. They use Claude for the catering. Why flag Alex Albon's car just broke down? Are we going to talk about how good Audi looking right now? But yeah, fair enough, because to be fair, I did clown Audi. But it looks like they are arguably faster than McLaren. Although remember, McLaren haven't done a time on the soft tyre yet. Yeah, Vladka will be keeping order here. Nothing's going to get through. Welcome, Martin Thompson. Good to see you. Joining us late, Martin. I think there's some work being done on Lance Stroll's car as well. Aston Martin mechanics on the floor. Should have been doing this earlier. Thanks, Martin. Next year, TM time already. What does that mean? Oh, is it a meme? It's like next year. Audi mechanics are standing in front of their car trying to hide something and not doing a very good job, I might add. I'm starting to think the Audi looks really good. I'm starting to really like the look of the Audi car. Nate says Alpine's got a step up fan, making it hard to be an Alpine fan. It's the last of the Alpine fans here. You're like a rogue trooper. Atlas, I've been hearing Hamilton radio. He's asking a lot of questions for engineer and having trouble. Oh my god. Not one of these again, is it? It's not one of these situations with Hamilton and the engineer. What are the rules for VSC and F1? I think it's the same. You follow your delta. But VSC's ended now. Albon's car's been recovered. Yeah, Alfonso is not going out in this session. I think because they're doing some kind of upgrade to it. I think Alfonso's refused to drive the car until the vibrations have been fixed. He's too old for that. The man's almost 50. Like, he doesn't need those kind of vibrations. Yeah, time goes quick. So, by the way, I don't know if I'll do FP2 or not. I might keep my powder dry. And I might see you again. Well, I'm going to see you again for Moto America. You have to subscribe because I'm going to do posts let you know Moto America, which is going to be in the Discord. So we're going to do something like this at Daytona with the footage. So it's a world's first. Like, I've actually managed to get the footage. So yeah, join us for that for sure. And then I think I'll do FP3 in quali and race. I'm not sure I'll do FP2 because it's just gonna. It's a big week. It's a big weekend. That's what I'm thinking. Let me know what you think. Is Damon Hill racing this year? I'll have to check. I don't think Damon's racing this year. Hot dog, isn't Alfonso a rookie? Oh, a slow McLaren. No, it's just Piastri, I think, creating a gap. 45 and some reason, not old. Okay, he's pushing 45 though. Jeremiah, way too early, but Audi looking like they could lead the midfield and even maybe possibly challenge for a constructor's podium. Looks like we're going to see a podium for Audi this season at this rate. I would say. Chris says now 22 degrees at track and I could be weather. Yeah. Oh, Sergio Perez off. Just spun on that like car park area on the exit of turn 3. You know where they got the car park. So. Wonder if there's a squirt of throttle too much on the exit of 3 because he ended up going wide at 4. How's Honda doing? Not good. So Sergio Perez comes into 3. Oh, that looks weird. That looks like a bit of extra torque came through or something. Or the car just delivered some of the electrical energy. Very, very, very strange from Perez. Yeah, I'm having a lot of engine braking and a massive one. Yes, something weird happened with the axle for sure. Something weird happened for sure there with Perez's car. He's shooting some. Yeah, we're going to be streaming Moto America, which is American superbikes. They're doing the Daytona 200, and when we stream that, we have the footage, so you can see it all. So if you like this, you're going to love that. And the best thing is to be subscribed, because I'll do the post and share it all. And yeah, it's going to be good. No worries, Paul Collins. Appreciate you running lives. I'm working with you on headphones, and you're giving good views of what's happening. No problem at all. That's how we roll. Yeah, so just to be clear, Lando is not in the car. He's in the paddock. Piastri is now going out on soft tyre, by the way. So this is a critical moment, because Piastri, I think, is about to start a lap on the soft tyre, and we'll see whether he can go near the top. At the moment, it's Lewis Hamilton top of the leaderboards at 120.73, and Verstappen second at 120.78. Dare I say, we could be looking at a Verstappen versus Hamilton season this season. Welcome, Matt, L1 and Neil as well. And it's a busy track. Everyone is out apart from Lando Norris, Sergio Perez, I just told you about that issue, Lance Stroll, and Fernando Alonso. What's my favourite team? I don't know. I normally don't have a favourite team, but I am liking the look of the Audi. Obviously, I do a lot of stuff with Porsche. Spend quite a bit of time with Pascal Wehrlein, Porsche Formula E World Champion. Really, I need Peugeot in Formula 1. If Peugeot were in Formula 1, or Stellantis, I guess, that would be my team. But there's no Peugeot in Formula 1. Peugeot in Formula 1 is what we want to see. I suppose the closest is Alpine, but I don't think Alpine should have shut down their engine. There's so much history with that engine, with the Renault engine. Like, it's almost been too successful at times, and I don't like the way it's just been killed off without a whimper. And then they're also pulling out of WEC. I don't agree with the whole thing of branding this from Renault to Alpine. Like, I feel like Renault should have sporty road models that you feel like they track the lineage to the F1 team. That's what I feel like. Lindblad top 6. Yeah, good spot. Lindblad. That's huge. That's a great spot. Lindblad top 6 at the moment. 121.3 in the Racing Bull. Probably, well, he's the only rookie here, so unless you're going to count Colapinto a rookie again, but he's the only rookie, and he's right up there. Faster than Antonelli, and much faster than Liam Lawson, and Liam Lawson is also on the soft tyre. Josh Kaminski fully agrees with that. Earthy says it's going to be Max versus Ferrari. Ford versus Ferrari. Is it actually going to be Ford versus Ferrari? It is. Hang on. What the hell? It is going to be Ford versus Ferrari. It's just written in the stars. Hamilton versus Lando, Hamilton and Russell. Yeah, no, you eyes do not deceive you. Mr. Lindblad is now in P5. He's just gone even quicker last lap. 121.3. Mr. Lindblad on the move, sir. Do I do Formula E content? Yes. In fact, I'm going to be at a Formula E race very soon. So I want your feedback on what you want me to cover. Because I do all the interviews, and let's be honest, you guys don't watch them. I've interviewed everyone in Formula... I've interviewed every single driver in Formula E. And so we need to do it a different way. We need to do it a different way. So I want to hear what you want me to cover when I'm down on the ground at Formula E. Jal Schubert, not vibey, I'm Earthly, JK Chan, Myra DeLion. Michael says Lindblad's a weapon. Jupiter A. Lindblad. Nathan says she. Josh Kaminski, is it just me? I keep calling them Toro Rosso. No, it's not just you. Lindblad again. Oh, I think he's eased off this lap. I think he's eased off. But Lindblad did some quick laps in succession there. F1 2026, 6 years later. There's a movie there. Jeremiah, as an American, it's what I pretty much expected, but still sucks to see Cadillac at the bottom right now, considering Aston can't even do a lap. This is not particularly good for Cadillac. Unless this is part of the program. It's like they were like, FP1, we are just going to do installations. Like, we don't care about FP1. We're just going to play at our pace. Well, Bottas didn't hear me because he's just done a blistering lap to get into P17. 24 dead. Welcome Bahamas Racing. Carl's been watching F3 since day one. You've been watching since Beijing. What happened in the last lap in Beijing, first race? If you've been watching since day one, as you said you have. I know you've donated, Carl, but we got to check this. Someone waves the checkered flag here. Chat, I want to hear your take. I want to hear your takes from FP1. What have you learnt from FP1? What are your observations? Do some long comments. Welcome, Phantom. Michael says these cars kind of fast. Well, yes and no. Alonso P22 generational run from Alonso. This Josh Kaminsky actually enjoyed it. Sancheat saying Ferrari. Yeah, Ferrari 1-2. I actually just missed at the end there. So Ferrari 1-2 because Leclerc a 1:20.2 at the end, which is a significant lap, half a second faster than Hamilton in P2. So we have Ferrari 1-2 and then Red Bull 3-4 and then Arvid Lindblad, the Bladmeister, in P5. Huge for Lindblad. Bahamas saying Mercedes sandbagging. Last or next last corner. Driver's name. Oh, I want to hear the drivers. I'll give you one. Nico Prost. Who's the other? Drivers are adapting. Dave Manny says. So smart pace. Leclerc position 1. Leclerc with new softs? No, I think it was very scrub softs. By the way, I think it was 15 lap old softs. Black says, please control yourself. We don't appreciate spam. Black are keeping order here. And Kathleen said that they're 22. Yeah, so wait, no, that's what I said. It's on old softs. It's on old softs. Fact of the matter is, it's the fastest lap time across 22 cars in FP1, and he's done it on old softs. That's just that. Everything there is a fact. What that means, we can speculate. When will FP1 end? FP1 has just ended. FP1 is over. That hour is over there. Piastri post will have a subscribe to Kireth. I'd love to see. If we see that, we're going to scream. If we see that, I'm going to print it out for the next race. If you get that on TV, I'm going to print it out here, and I'll put it here as well. Dave says, hate to see McLaren declining. Are McLaren going to enter another washed era? Phantom, are they taking corners slower than last year in order to harvest energy? The thing is, the way I watch Formula 1, I'm kind of seeing who's on good stints, who's setting quick lap times, who looks comfortable in the car. The actual relative, whether they're relatively taking corners faster or slower than last year, it's not something that I can really perceive. I can tell when Fernando Alfonso on the phone. Maybe Alfonso in the chat. Alfonso's wearing slacks as well. Didn't even get into the race overalls. Poor Alfonso, he's always picking a losing team. Yeah. Should have just stayed at Renault. Should have just stayed at Renault forever and kept them as Renault. Some practice starts are going to happen as well. Welcome Chris Russell Wells and Azrael Suleiman, Hafiza Valley as well. Jeremiah, what are your observations so far? When I looked at the Mercedes, it looked absolutely planted. Like, I do believe that the Mercedes could be sandbagging quite a bit. The cars look a little bit harder to drive, so I think we could see drivers making some more, half mistakes that we haven't really seen in previous years that much, where they're just dropping reels in the gravel or whatever, and they're losing a bit of time that way. And I feel like we're maybe in an age where it's going to be exciting to follow this in the first few races at least, because there could be mechanical issues. We've seen Piastri mechanical, Lando seems to have mechanical, Albon mechanical, obviously Alfonso mechanical, but seems to be like the chance of having a mechanical is quite high. So you can't. The race ain't gonna finish. It's not like football where like you have a 4-goal lead. It's like it's all done. Here you can have a 20-second lead in Formula One. You know, you still you can't afford to have a mechanical. Alfonso in the live chat right now. Imagine if Alfonso actually joined. Melly is saying Ferrari just broken or what? No, Ferrari not broken. What you mean, like broken good? Like broken OP? Yeah, poor Lando. Do people feel sorry for Lando, by the way? Do people feel sorry for Lando? Let's see snaps and Axel on a practice start. Some of them will be taking it easy. So yeah, they'll be poring over the data, I'm sure. But I mean, look how close the Mercedes are. It's very suspicious that they're so close between each other. 5 thousandths of a second. Bit suspicious. Could definitely be some sandbagging going on there. 100%. Bag in the sand. Speaking of bagging, King of the Baggers tomorrow. We'll be covering King of the Baggers. Friday, it says the Australian Grand Prix F1 show is at 6:15 AM. Surely the race starts well before 6:15 AM. When does the race start? When does the race start? Steve saw Peugeot. Oh, Peugeot, was that with... That wasn't with Prost, was it? Was that with Prost? Did Prost run Peugeot engines? Was that Olivier Panis and all that? No, it's Lance Laus. Fan says these insane new starting procedures will cause some ugly crashes. We'll see. I don't think it's like the old days when the start was like genuinely quite dangerous. And they don't do like, you know, wet starts anymore really, or like where there might be spray or something like that. 4 AM UK time on Sunday. Oh, okay, so that's the post-race show. That's post-race. So do I wake up? Oh my god, what do I do? Because I'm going to be on Saturday, I'm going to be doing the Daytona 200 with footage. But that's gonna finish Florida time. Starts at 1, I think. So that'll all be done by 4. Oh my god, that'll be done by 4 PM local, which is 9 PM my time. So maybe I sleep. Oh, I don't know. Work out. I'm streaming from London. Ryan getting Ferrari. Black race Sundays 5 AM for me, 4 AM for you. But yeah, then I've got to stream earlier. So I've got to stream from 3. I remember Japan, the last few years, I remember Japan being really difficult. But I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really faze me that much. Like whether I wake up at 3 or not. Like I think when you have a baby or had a baby, it was McLaren Peugeot. Really? Was it? Red and white McLaren Peugeot? I need to get a McLaren Peugeot top. That's the retro thing I need to find. Spaceman, you just got here. Welcome, Spaceman. Unfortunately, it's just done. The main takeaway seemed to be we could have a Ferrari versus Red Bull situation. We think that the Mercedes might be sandbagging. Audi looked quite good as well. And Arvid Lindblad has probably been the standout driver of FP1. Maybe he didn't get the memo to sandbag. Okay, I don't remember the Peugeot McLaren days at all. So it would be a bit like hypocritical to find a top. Right, chat, there's 1,000 people watching, but I've got to play. I don't even know what time it is, but I've got to play this sensibly. What's the time? It's 2:39 AM. I've got to play this sensibly. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Am I going to do something for Formula Fan TV? Okay, I tell you what, chat. If you want to see my preview of the season, right, which I would basically talk about now, I've done it already on Formula Fan TV. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link to Formula Fan TV here, which is me talking with Sam about what I think is going to happen this season. So if you want to see more analysis like that, go and watch that video. I'll pin it. So go watch that video if you want. I'll just go check it out. You might not like it. But that's what I recorded yesterday on my thoughts for the season. Meanwhile, I'm gonna not do FP2 because I'm gonna keep my powder dry. And I'm gonna see you next back for Moto America. And then I'm gonna be back for probably qualifying. I'm probably gonna go qualifying. Normally I'll do FP1, FP2, FP3 where I can. You can't. There is a pin link there, but I think I've got to play. What do you? In fact, what do you think? I just think I've got to play the long game here a little bit. I've got to play the long game, the sustainable game. F1 is cooked so slow this year. Well, it's FP1, mate. It's FP1. Ron Dennis refused to go ahead with Lamborghini till he decided to go Peugeot. Can't blame him. As a factory Peugeot driver myself. Okay, alright everyone, I'm going to see you. Please subscribe. Please keep an eye out tomorrow for the link to Moto America. It's really cool because you can see all the footage. It's a world first. And I'll probably be back doing F1 for qualifying, I imagine. Stuff may change, we'll see. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining. Great to be back. Everything's working, fantastic. And I'll